Hi everyone. I'd like to give you a little tour of what it was like for me to help make the Makerspace video. So this image here is of a wall painted in whiteboard paint at the Eugene Makerspace, and I added my line item there. When our group started out on our project, we weren't quite sure what we were going to do. We thought about adaptive learning and about maker spaces, so we did a lot of research those first couple of weeks, actually on both subjects, and then eventually decided that we were going to go with maker spaces. Um, you can see we had a lot of information on adaptive learning, and it would have been a great topic as well. We did narrow down our research. We had, of course, what Jonan gave to us and what our classmates provided for us, and then what we had done on our own. Additionally, in the beginning, we set roles. We had quite a bit of changes, and some of them are represented here. Some we didn't clearly define, at least on this document, but maybe were refined through our text messages and emails. We started out with positions that were really heavier on a text document and then had to modify as we went along. We had to add some roles for dealing with copyright permissions, something that we hadn't thought about initially. Our venue choices, we threw out a lot of different things in the beginning. Ultimately, we hope to make it available on YouTube as long as we have all of the permissions that we need. And we have also found a couple of other sites, one that is actually devoted to makerspaces that welcomes content for people who use makerspaces or do creative stuff. So that would also be a good venue to have it. When we met, we took notes here. We had some communication here as well, and some brainstorming, but this was certainly a place where we kept records of our online meetings, so everybody could go back and refer to what we had discussed and what we had decided. We were fortunate to have Kimberly write us a really great concluding statement, and that really helped tie our video together at the end. So that's one way that we communicated. Aside from using Google Docs and text messaging and emails and Google Hangouts, we also utilized Dropbox. We needed more space to put all those big files, and where we could share them. And so we had a nice big Dropbox to put all our stuff in. So for my portion of the video, I got to record at Eugene Public Library. And I'm not an expert videographer, far from it, but we did get some imagery here. I got to use a machine that I hadn't used before. And it was pretty fascinating to be in a space where we were using both technologically advanced equipment, and there were people doing handwork as well. I had a great time at the Makerspace. I got to make this little embroidered fish here, and I do believe I'll go back and perhaps attend their robotics seminar and play with some robotics, or use all of their equipment, which I tinkered around with just a little bit. They have a wonderful space that can be used for 2 hours. You can use it by yourself or with a small group, and use everything. There's scanners, there's all kinds of software, more stuff than I even know how to use. Another great part of this project has been developing the blog posts. I like to write, I like to be creative, I like to be introspective, and I really appreciated this aspect of the assignment because I was able to do that. So it was really fun to create some blog posts that told what was going on, um, and I was able to tell it in a way that was right for me, which I again really appreciate. Um, and there'll be one more blog post to go, which this will go into. It has been a wonderful experience working on this collaborative project. Not only did I get to learn about makerspaces, which was really cool, and we had a great time, but I learned a lot about myself. I learned a lot about working together, about um, sharing a creative space, about coordinating across time zones and through family problems. We just had to be adaptive and creative, and we wouldn't have been able to do it without the technology that we had to use. It was also a way to be able to put together all the things that we've been learning this term, the way to coordinate our efforts, the way to come together. And although we weren't writing objectives and that sort of thing like we did when we designed our LMS. Um, we did have to come up with a plan. We had to have an outcome. We had to have some benchmarks along the way to get us there. We had to give each other assignments so that we could get through it. So the skills that we have developed this entire year, we were able to put to use here. So I'm about to wrap this up and post it in my blog. And I hope that you look at it and enjoy it and know that this is sad that it's over, but um, it won't be over because what we've learned will always keep with us.